Ultimate Fighting Championship. And we welcome in Martin Rogers here to the program. Martin, a friend of the show and also a huge fan of John Candy and Cool Runnings. So Khabib Nurmagomedov on Instagram put this out. I would like to address the UFC. Why didn't you fire anyone when their team attacked the bus and injured a couple of people? They could have killed someone there. Why no one says anything about insulting my homeland, religion, nation, family? Why do you have to punish my team when both teams fought? If you say that I started it, then I do not agree. I finished what he started. That is true. In any case, punish me, do not punish someone in his team. You cancel this fight. If you decide to fire him, you should know that you'll lose me too. We never give up on our brothers in Russia. And I will go to the end for my brother. He went on and on. We could show those as well. Martin, your reaction to this is what?
Khabib's learning to play the game, isn't he? He's always known how to fight. Now he's learning the fact that controversy equals big money. And guess who he learned that from? Conor McGregor. He's learning that the more you speak, the louder you speak, and the more outrageous things you say, the better it is for your career in the UFC. And that's why the UFC is different to any other organization in sports. And Khabib's going to make himself money off the back of this notoriety that he's gained since not just beating Conor McGregor, but since leaping over that cage in Vegas last week. He's going to cash in.
We could show the footage again with no audio, of course, of what occurred from a fan's perspective. Now that we have had, because it's just my rule, yes, we have to be so prepared in sports media to talk about anything at any point in time, immediately giving a reaction to it. But now that we've had hours upon hours to not only dissect it, but also cool off our own jets as analysts and pundits, although if you combine them, that would be pretty cool as andits. But now that we have been able to just digest this a little more, who was in the wrong, or is it just that all parties were in the wrong?
Who was in the right? Like, I mean, you go back to April in Brooklyn, and Conor McGregor loaded a jet full of guys, headed over to New York, and attacked a bus. And other UFC athletes were injured in that, and yeah, a lot of people were very upset. And he kind of got away with it with a slap on the wrist. He then spent the next 4 months insulting Khabib Nurmagomedov, Khabib's father, his family, his religion, his country, the part of his country specifically where he's from, and all kinds of other stuff. So it's hard to kind of have Conor McGregor as the innocent party in all this. And then if you're looking for another guy who probably acted like he shouldn't, it's the guy who leapt over the cage, started diving into people and punching and kicking. So there's no good guys, and why would there be? This is a UFC. We're talking about people who are paid to hurt each other, right? So there's no knight in shining armor of all this. It's one bad dude against another bad dude, and an organization led by a guy in Dana White who likes to act like he's a bad dude. So look, it's showbiz, it's marketing, and it's a sport that thrives more than any other on these kind of blood feuds, right? And they try to contrive them time after time. Like every time there's a fight, it's like, oh, I don't like this guy, and here's why. And the other guy's like, I don't like this guy. Well, guess what? These guys actually don't like each other. So, whether we like it or not, whether it's a guilty pleasure or not, that's what kind of makes it fascinating.
Albeit you said it was for marketing, and I agree with you. A lot of this in the fight game, whether it's boxing or the UFC, is for a publicity stunt. That's why we have the faux pas face-off. That's why we have one guy push another, or put his hand in the other's face, or point at one another just to build it up. But do you believe that Khabib Nurmagomedov was serious about leaving the UFC?
I think he's starting to figure out how to play this thing and how to leverage what you've got. Now, this was real for him. Like, it might have been business for Conor McGregor. This whole spite and bitterness, this was all very real for him. But now he's at the point where he's got significant leverage. So look, I think the threat to leave is a threat that wasn't open to him before, and it's one that is open to him now. Right, the UFC needs him now. He's the big bad wolf. He's the villain. He's the guy who can sell pay-per-views on his own now as a result of beating Conor McGregor and everything that happened since. And the UFC don't have too many people like that. So look, do I expect him to leave? No. Do I expect them to do another fight and a rematch and tons of money all around? Yes, I do. But look, it's open to him. If Khabib wants to go off and join the WWE and make a ton of money there, then he can do it, right? Like the UFC needs to step up and they need to kind of give him what he wants to a certain degree. I'm not sure if they'll step back on not punishing the teammate of his who leapt into the ring, but they'll probably sweeten the pot with a bit more cash for his next fight. Khabib's only got one more fight left on his contract, so there's going to be some fairly spicy negotiations going on there. I don't think he'll leave. I know if he does, a couple of organizations should be very interested. One's the WWE, the other one is Bellator, which is UFC's rival in mixed martial arts.
Alrighty, Martin Rogers, appreciate the time as always, brother. Thank you.
You got it.
Do you know what you could get for $4.99? Maybe one pack of Skittles. You know what's better? A lot of content. So download the TYT app, available on iOS and Android.